Hey guys, and welcome back to another Conan Exiles video. Settling down in the jungle can be hard. There's lots of space and not all of it is created equally. Today I'll be showing you 3 great base locations within the jungle. So without further ado, let's get started. Our first location is in the east, in map square N7 on the mountains above Flotsam. There's tons of space up here, but we're mainly looking at this large plateau. There's an abundance of room for building pretty much any base design you want, and whilst the terrain isn't perfect, it's far from a bad spot to build. You have abundant access to a wide variety of thralls from Flotsam below, including sorcerers and of course tier 4 thralls. There are also some vendors within Flotsam, and of course you are quite close to the brimstone deposits and chests underwater in Buccaneers Bay. During chapter 2 there is also a Khitan mercenary camp nearby, so you can quickly gather some ancient obelisks. There's also a reasonable amount of iron dotted around nearby. The jungle is, generally speaking, pretty rough in terms of iron. There isn't a gargantuan amount around this area, but there should be enough deposits scattered around that you can regularly mine to have a steady flow. As mentioned previously, this area is huge and can hold a wide variety of builds. I personally built a Khitan tower base, but there's still tons of room for anything else you need. Animal pens, wheels of pain, altars, teleporters, you can fit all of them and more up here. Overall, this area is in a good spot with easy access to thralls, water, wood and stone. The only letdown is the lack of a large iron deposit nearby, but there should be enough around to maintain your crafting endeavours. The second spot is in map square N7 on the mountain above the upper staging area. This is a decent sized plateau with good transport links and a pretty favourable location. You've got good access to of course wood and stone, an obelisk just below the base, spiders for gossamer, and you are very close to the passage, which provides an easy path to the north, alongside being the site of both a boss fight and a witch hunt encounter. Unfortunately, this spot is really lacking in iron. You could travel either west to the deposits near Messenger's Respite or south to the descent of Dagon, but this area is just generally rough in terms of iron. However, with easy access to the north, you could use the passage to gather iron in the highlands or the frozen north, and then use a map room outpost to quickly get back home via obelisk. Of course, when you do establish teleporters through sorcery, this spot becomes much better. Overall, this is not a terrible spot. You've got good access to bosses and some thralls nearby in the various camps, alongside links to the north, and of course access to the nearby witch hunt. The lack of iron here is definitely a downside. The jungle is indeed quite sparse, especially compared to the desert in terms of iron. However, with a little extra effort in gathering said iron, this spot can accommodate a decently sized base and make for a good home. Finally, we are in map square L6 on a western cliff at the edge of the descent of Dagon. This is a great area offering abundant space to build with impressive access to resources. The descent of Dagon contains large deposits of ironstone, and of course easy access to thralls within the descent. There's also a sorcerer spawn here, and whilst not as impressive in its offerings as Flotsam, you'll still be able to get some good workers for your base. That being said, you are not too far away from Flotsam, and of course all the resources that provides. This area is also close to the western border of the jungle, so if you do need to head into the desert, you don't have to go too far. The Silkwood and Zelhar also aren't too far away, the latter allowing you access to the Witch Queen, the Underwater City dungeon and an obelisk at the Pagoda of Boundless Lusts. Overall, this is generally a pretty nice area to build, with abundant access to resources such as iron, wood, stone, hides and thralls. The cliff you'll be building on has tons of room, and whilst it may demand a more unusual build shape, there's plenty of space to make almost anything work. The downsides of this spot are its weak transport links, but the resources, amenities and locations nearby should ease that trade-off. And there we have it, 3 great base locations in the jungle of the Exiled Lands. Thanks for watching. I know people mentioned in my Highlands base locations video that they did want to see some locations for the jungle, and I don't believe I've covered all of the good locations here, so I may come back to the jungle in the future for a second installment if that's something you guys would like to see. If you enjoyed that video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. The links to my Twitter, Discord, Patreon and various sponsored discounts are also available in the description below. As always, if you have suggestions for future content you'd like to see, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to become a member of the Coffee Cult by joining our Discord, and if you'd like to support the channel further, become an esteemed Coffee Cultist by joining us over on Patreon. As a patron, you'll get sneak peeks of new videos before they're uploaded, full-size blueprints, wallpapers in both 1080p and 4K resolutions, Discord roles and more. On that note, a massive thanks to all of our esteemed coffee cultists on screen now for continuing to support the channel. Again, thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you soon.